Hey, folks, and welcome back to this look into the headlines, wrapping up the first week in December. And the topics we're going to talk about today include in Louisiana, all the talk centers around new LSU head coach hire Lane Kiffin, who in his press conference made a claim that Ole Miss fans tried to run him off the road upon his exit from Oxford. We're going to address that. In Michigan, the body of Rebecca Park has been found in a national forest, and her mother and stepfather have been charged in her murder. In Virginia, a high school football coach is still on the run in this 15th day of the manhunt after he is charged with several counts of child porn. In Austin, Texas, police are determining no foul play in the death of a Texas A&M cheerleader, but the family is saying not so fast. We got the up-to-the-minute details on that case and so much more today on Crime Wire Weekly. I am Jim Chapman.
I'm Kelly Jennings. What's going on, Jim? I know you got a big smile on your face.
I do.
And you got on your LSU purple and gold jacket.
I do. It was raining this morning, and you know those, for the folks that can't see us, it rained heavily this morning, still raining, and I bought an LSU jacket, like a rain jacket.
Yeah.
A little deal that you can pack away, and it folds up so nice, and you can just put it in your car. And I've been wanting to wear it for like 6 months, but I've never had to go anywhere where it was raining when I actually left the house. So I was excited today.
Yeah. I can hear it swooshing on the microphone.
Can y'all hear that? It's awesome.
Make that noise, boy.
Yeah, I love it. I love this jacket. Anyway, I guess let's get into the crime headlines. Or you got anything you want to talk about?
No, I'm stoked about what you're going to talk about first, I think.
Yeah, I am also stoked. If you follow my personal Facebook page, this will not shock you at all. I am. Look, y'all, I'm excited about Lane Kiffin being the LSU football coach. I know we don't have a show about football or sports, but this relates to crime because he alleged a crime. And how dare you commit a crime against LSU's new coach?
That's right.
And I do want to say before I get into it, I know we have some Mississippi fans out there, and I totally get it that you are very hurt on the decision that Kiffin made. But us as LSU fans, we're very excited to have him here. And I know all of y'all are saying, don't get used to it, and he's going to leave and go to Alabama. I don't care. I just want one national championship.
Let us live in the moment.
Yeah, let us have this. But I do hope that Ole Miss's football team really kills it in the playoffs. And, I'd like to see them win. I think they deserve it, and they played a great season.
Yeah, and you have to have a heart for those kids, too, those student athletes
100%.
that have lost their coach, that, you love your coach. You worked hard with that coach, and now that coach leaves. And I'm sure that there's a sting behind that. Just as I was a college athlete, there's a sting behind that because you have such loyalty to your coach, and you work hard for your coach, and then when he leaves. So my heart really does go out to those kids. It's a loss. It's a loss.
And I think that was a hard decision by everybody. And look, Lane made his decision.
Yeah.
And so you have a new coach and get behind him and kill it in the playoffs.
That's right.
Let's get into it. This latest Lane Kiffin saga finally ended when he left for Baton Rouge this past Sunday. But Kiffin later revealed that some Ole Miss fans created a rocky route to the Oxford, Mississippi airport. He claimed that a group of unhappy fans attempted. Now, I want to really stress that, attempted to chase his car off the road. And the reason I want to stress that is the athletic director came out in a podcast yesterday, and I'm not throwing shade on the guy. He said this. He said, as well as the commissioner for the police in the state of Mississippi, whatever you call that person, they came out and said they have no report of any accidents involving Lane Kiffin. Y'all, he never said he got in an accident. He said people were attempting to run him off the road. Was he exaggerating that a little bit? Probably. But look, I have no doubt some people in Oxford were pulling on the side of him, giving him the bird.
Yeah, I don't think they were trying to
maybe they might have swerved and swerved back real quick just to mess with him. I don't know. But I can tell you, as lethal as they're getting on social media, it's possible. Just like it's possible with LSU fans. We would do that too. When he leaves LSU, we're probably going to swerve at him a couple of times as well.
Hey, well, we did go through this, though, if you remember, with Saban. I won't go off on a tangent.
We did, but it was, to be fair to Ole Miss fans, it was different. He went to the NFL. He didn't go to another SEC team. And so
he went to Alabama.
Well, he did via the NFL.
I don't care.
And he wanted this job, but Les Miles just won a national championship when he came back.
I know.
A lot of people don't know that story, but he called LSU and he's like, I want my job back. And they were like, dude, Les Miles just won a national championship. We can't just hire you back. And then by the time that Les Miles, we figured out, well, he ain't going to work.
Les wasn't more.
Yeah, Saban was already at Alabama. So anyway, Kiffin was formally introduced as LSU's next head coach on this past Monday. During the news conference, he outlined the vision he hoped to bring life to his tenure. But he also went into detail about this apparent crime and his need for police assistance during the tense moment in question. Quote, call a cop that you know so they will help you, Kiffin said, because you personally know them because you are leaving the state and you got to turn around and people are screaming at you, you know, trying to run you off the road. I don't know what they're going to do. And so that it affects you. While Kiffin acknowledged Ole Miss fans' passion, he also suggested his experience during the airport trip served as confirmation of his decision to leave Oxford. Quote, in the airport scene and all the things being said, I understand that it's the passion, but they're saying that about you, that you really did a good job for them for 6 years and it affects you. And even on the plane ride down there, I'm kind of like, yeah, we made this decision, but God, I really, you know. And then it kind of trailed off. Right. And he did say when he got to LSU and he passed Tiger Stadium, he knew he made the right decision. Yeah. And so, look, this happens all over college sports. I'm glad that nothing violent has happened thus far, and I wouldn't expect that out of Ole Miss fans. They're just, look, they're hurt. I get it. And we've been there, like Kelly said, with Nick Saban. So there you have it. I just wanted to clarify. He never said he got in an accident. Right. So that's why no accidents were reported. He just said some people were swerving. Who knows with Lane? Maybe he was trolling a little bit.
No, I think that he was just, I don't think he was being literal. I think he was saying that people are kind of running him out of Oxford and have turned on him since he left. And, people, what's weird too is that people do weird things, like people who chase down celebrities and get mad over like a role they played and stuff. Those things happen. And it's like, everybody got to calm down. We can be mad in a athletic, sporty way, but
it's a game.
It's a game, bro.
At the end of the day, it's a game, folks.
Yeah. And for what I'm paying for these season tickets, we better win that damn game.
Right.
All right, now let's move on to something probably a little bit more serious here. But authorities in Michigan confirmed that the body of a woman found in Manistee National Forest last week is that of Rebecca Park. The discovery of Park's body came after a weeks-long search to locate the missing mother-to-be, who was last seen shortly before midnight on November 3rd at her mother's home in Boone Township, about 100 miles north of Grand Rapids. Search efforts are still ongoing. However, the Wexford County Sheriff Trent Taylor revealed in a statement that Park's autopsy also revealed that she was no longer pregnant. Park had been 38 weeks pregnant when she went missing, and her body was discovered 3 days after she was due to give birth. The Wexford County Sheriff's Office, along with multiple law enforcement agencies, is working diligently to determine the condition and potential whereabouts of the baby. Because this is an active and ongoing investigation, the information that can be released is extremely limited at this time. The sheriff's office also confirmed that 2 individuals linked to the case had been arrested late Sunday night, which is when Park's mother and stepfather were taken into custody. Courtney Bartholomew, who is 40, was arrested and booked into the county jail at 11:40 p.m. on November 30th, and her fiancé, Bradley Bartholomew, 47, was booked into custody on December 1st. It's weird that it would say her fiancé, yet they have the same last name. So wouldn't that imply already married? I'm just saying the article.
Question.
It's a weird thing in the article. But either way, a court appearance for the pair initially scheduled for Monday actually took place on Tuesday, December 2nd. So at that appearance, the mother and stepfather were charged with, listen to this, 8 total counts. And I'm going to kind of shorten them up here for you. But the first one was they were charged with committing an offensive homicide murder in the first degree. The second was homicide felony murder with DNA taken upon arrest. The third was that there was a torture component to it. The fourth was conspiracy for the torture component. The fifth count was the assault of a pregnant individual causing a miscarriage or stillbirth. The sixth count was more about that assault with intentionally causing the miscarriage and stillbirth. The seventh count was unlawful imprisonment, and then count 8, and the final one was the offense of dead bodies removing without medical examiner permission. So it sounds like moving the body, obviously, after they killed her. There is no word on whether or not the recent arrest of Park's fiance and sister are in any way related to her death. Kimberly Park, 21, and Richard Fowler, 43, are also being held at the Wexford County Jail ever since the arrest last week, just hours after the discovery of Park's body. Kimberly was arrested and booked into custody at the jail in the early morning hours of November 26th. She appeared in court later that same day, and she was arraigned on charges of tampering with evidence and lying to a police officer while also filing a false police report. Her bail was set at $750,000, and that's a high bail. So you know that this is serious. Fowler was taken into custody at 7:30 p.m. on November 25th, and he was arraigned the following day on 2 counts of delivering methamphetamine. So now we have another charge. I don't know what that one's about, but his bail was set at $1 million. So even higher than the tampering and all that. And now the sheriff's office is not releasing any further details at this time.
Yeah. And, obviously this is a big trending case because they still haven't found the baby.
Yeah, and the way it's worded is interesting, too, because it says she was no longer pregnant. Obviously, I'm thinking that she gave birth at some point. Or are they saying that she had miscarried all? Well, no, because it says causing miscarriage in the charges.
Right.
And the baby was viable at that point based on the weeks that she was pregnant.
100%.
Yeah, so, where's this baby?
So she was scheduled to give birth, or she, I guess, estimated to give due. Yeah. 3 days prior to this. So, the baby was certainly viable. Mm-hmm. They did see some things from the property, including notebooks, a tablet, multiple knives, some trail knives, and they see some shovels. So the thought process here is the police may be thinking the body of the baby was buried somewhere in those woods, maybe near where this young lady's body was found. Yeah. But we'll keep you updated on it. Absolutely horrific. And this is her biological mother, y'all. Yeah,
and looking at the photos, and we can post these on Facebook for y'all too, but the photos of the mom looks rough. Mom looks like she's been through some stuff here. And it just makes you wonder, so many things could have happened, the knives they were telling. And we had a case here locally years ago where the guy got high. So the guy that was arrested on methamphetamines in this story, well, we had a guy locally that was high on drugs, and he cut his own child out of his baby, out of the mother, his baby mama, his wife. Now,
that was PCP.
It was laced. Yeah. Well, it was. He smoked a joint laced with whatever. I don't remember what it was.
I think PCP.
Maybe. Irrelevant. Either way, he lost his mind. And he cut that child physically with a knife out of the mother. So, and that involved drugs and being high and all that. So this will be a very interesting one to see what actually happened. But that poor girl, to know that at the hands of your own mom, something went wrong.
Well, let's go to Virginia. And we're going to talk about another highly trending case at this moment in time, and that is the fugitive Virginia high school football coach who disappeared amid a child pornography investigation. He was last seen entering a wooded area with a firearm, that from his family attorney. Now, for those unfamiliar, Travis Turner, who is 46, a very decorated high school football coach, the head coach of Union High School. This is in Big Stone Gap, Virginia. He left his residence to walk into a heavily wooded and mountainous area. That was on November 20th. The last known contact the family had with Travis occurred on or about Thursday, November 20th, after he left and walked into those woods. And at that point in time, no arrest warrants have been issued for him or anything like that. So that makes me think he was tipped off a little bit about some things that were about to occur. Now, when he didn't come home that evening, his wife called local law enforcement, and she was told she had to wait 24 hours to file a missing persons report. The family said that they, along with friends, have searched the surrounding woods though their efforts have been limited by bad weather and the need to avoid interfering with an official search. On Tuesday, 5 days after Turner was last seen, authorities announced they had obtained 10 warrants to charge him with 5 counts of possession of child pornography and 5 counts of using a computer to solicit a minor. Authorities said the investigation remains ongoing. Additional charges are pending, and Turner is now considered a fugitive. So Turner was reported missing on Friday, November 21st, a day after he was seen walking in those woods. Investigators for the Virginia State Police were returning to his Appalachia? I think I got that one right. Appalachia home to speak with him about the case. Police said they had visited his home on November 20th, the day he disappeared, but at that time they were just wanting to talk to him. They were not seeking to arrest him, according to police.
That was his tip-off.
That was, yeah. Well, somebody had, they went to attempt to speak to him, and that's when he left.
Yeah.
Somebody had told him we're on the way, whether it was the police or someone tipped him off, I don't know. Right. Turner's wife, Leslie Turner, responded after her husband was charged, saying that none of what's being said about her husband is true. Quote, he's a good dad, a good husband, and we want him home. That's it. I don't know anything. I'm sorry. Police have launched an extensive search across Wise County. They're utilizing drones, canines, all of the technology at their disposal. And they're also doing foot patrols. Now, he was last seen wearing a gray sweatshirt, sweatpants, and glasses, and very successful football coach in that area. Everybody knew this guy.
Right.
And he is vanished without a trace. I mean, they can't find it.
So this also, and this has been reported on some other outlets too, which I can't obviously confirm or deny if it's true or not, but that they're thinking he could have possibly had help in his, I'm going to say escape or whatever, or leaving. Because, I mean, if he hurt himself with the weapon, you would find the body, in the woods. And then
eventually, it's a mountainous area.
Yeah. But how far did you get? Because there was also a meteorologist I had read somewhere else that said the weather had been a lot hotter and something else, and that would have impeded how fast he could move. So what if he went into the woods and then circled out and then someone gave him a ride? I don't know. I'm just saying what someone else had said, that possibly someone else could have.
That's a good point, too.
Yeah, could have assisted him. And it makes you wonder, why'd you bring the gun? Was it to hurt yourself? Well, we can't find you. So, or is it to get in a shootout later on should they take you? I don't know. This is going to turn out bad either way, I think, for him.
Yeah.
So, his poor family, too. They're just devastated.
Sounds like his wife's in shock to me.
Yeah.
And she, I understand.
Yeah, you would defend your spouse's honor until otherwise proven.
Right.
And she hasn't got anything to go on other than the accusation. All right, so let's move on to Texas. Austin authorities said Tuesday that an ongoing probe into the weekend falling death of Texas A&M student Breonna Aguilera continues to suggest that the 19-year-old did not die by homicide, but also cautioned that they have not reached any conclusions. Since Aguilera fell from a 17th floor balcony Saturday at the 21 Rio Apartments in West Campus, her mother and other family members have disputed the Austin Police Department's initial determination that the incident was non-suspicious and accused detectives of a botched investigation. Assistant Police Chief Lee Rogers told the American Statesman that findings continue to point to an accidental fall or suicide, but that the probe is still open and has expanded in scope. There's no indication of foul play, Rogers said, adding that detectives are still piecing together Aguilera's final hours. Investigators have built a preliminary timeline that places Aguilera at a tailgate event before the Texas University of Texas and Texas A&M football game. They are reviewing her movements and interactions throughout the day, including her stay with friends who live in the apartment from which she fell. We are looking at things that may or may not have occurred throughout the day. Meanwhile, the Travis County Medical Examiner's Office still has not determined an official cause of death, according to the spokesman Hector, and I think it's Nieto, is how you would pronounce that. A full report, including toxicology results, will likely not be released for several more weeks. As the investigation continues, Aguilera's family has strongly rejected the idea that her death was an accident or suicide. Her mother and other relatives say they believe the probe has been handled poorly and that key procedures, such as preserving the scene and thoroughly questioning those present, were neglected. In a social media post, Aguilera's mother, Stephanie Rodriguez, insisted her daughter would never jump from such a height, calling the idea insane. My daughter loved life and was excited to graduate and pursue her career in law. Rodriguez wrote this and then accused, basically in essence, the Austin police of not thoroughly investigating. Now, I'm going to say this. If you look at the photo of her, of the daughter, she seems to be a very well put together kid.
What you would think of a college cheerleader. Just beautiful,
college cheerleader,
blonde hair.
Sorority, something like that.
Yeah.
She looks well put together, but again, looks don't mean they're going to tell you the outcome of what happened.
No.
And I can see you sitting on the balcony. I mean, I remember being young, sitting on balconies I probably shouldn't have, or staying, and then losing your balance and flipping over and falling. The only other option would be that someone pushed her.
She jumped.
Or she jumped, yeah.
Yeah, so that's, of course, I'm not saying that. I have no direct knowledge of this case outside of what Kelly just read you. Yeah. But there's only three options there. She was either killed, she fell, or she intentionally jumped. Right. It seems like the intentional jump is just completely off the table. There are absolutely no signs of that. It seems like the police are leaning towards, and what Kelly just said, an accidental fall of some sort. Mm-hmm. Toxicology results have not been released yet that I'm aware of. Was she drunk and
lost her balance?
Lost her balance, yeah. And like I do every time I drink. Who knows? Yeah. And I'm not making light of it, but I'm just saying that could be a possibility. But it's crazy how social media just goes nuts with so many theories on these things. Yeah. One of the social media sites that I was looking at, the comments, I mean, they got people accusing her best friend of killing her, all kinds of things with absolutely no evidence of any of this.
When you are an idiot, 'tis best to keep your mouth shut and let people wonder if you are or not. Because once you confirm it, you know what I'm saying? Right. How dare someone and just erring on the side of her friends being absolutely innocent. There's nothing pushing towards that right now as the time that we're recording this. And how dare you turn around and accuse somebody of intentionally pushing somebody when right now there's zero evidence of that.
Zero evidence. And if it's obvious to you, I would think it would be obvious to the police and they wouldn't be treating this. Now, from the family's perspective, they have their doubts, as you just mentioned. And look, it's a hard thing to accept. I could not imagine losing a child. And so you're looking for answers. And
the accident's devastating enough because it could have been prevented.
Yeah.
You want to blame something.
You want to blame something.
You need to. And I understand how that would feel. You need someone to blame or something to blame. And oftentimes, I can tell you, people direct their anger at the police.
Yeah.
And they feel like more should be done. So I'll say this. I bet you the police, they're not going to talk during an open investigation, but they're going to go look through her social media posts. They're going to look through her internal texts between friends. Was she fighting with anybody? Was she fighting with a guy maybe? They broke up. They're going to be looking for all of those avenues. And if none of that is the case, and then toxicology comes back, possibly, and I'm just doing what ifs here. I have no foundation here. And let's say there is a toxicology that's raised. I mean, come on. It's a terrible, terrible accident in that event. And the police can't make up evidence that's not there.
Right.
So I will say this. Their family has every right to be upset. She had her life ahead of her, and it's just devastating regardless of what the outcome is.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So we'll move on. We'll go into Louisiana.
Shout out.
Yeah. Just a horrible story here on a sheriff's deputy that was killed. And this was, Thanksgiving. A lot of people joke about you got to get around relatives you don't like, or people get in arguments all the time. And that does happen in some households, during Thanksgiving about, numerous things. But this one turned tragic when a St. John the Baptist Parish Sheriff's deputy was identified as the victim in a deadly shooting on Thanksgiving evening. Officials identified the victim as Shaquille Garon, who is 35. Officials say Garon was shot and killed by his brother Darius Garon, who is 32, of Marrero, so 3 years younger than his older brother. The shooting happened just after 5:30 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day, that according to Sheriff Joseph Lapinto. Deputies arrived to find Shaquille Garon lying in the street outside the home with at least one gunshot wound. Emergency medical crews and deputies attempted life-saving efforts, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators identified the vehicle Darius used to flee and shared that information with nearby law enforcement. Around 7 p.m., a deputy spotted that vehicle, and when deputies tried to stop it, Darius Garon refused to pull over. Deputies pursued the vehicle to Lafitte, Louisiana, where it stopped, and Garon ran from the car, but deputies caught him and took him into custody. A gun was found along the path where he ran, and he will obviously be booked with second-degree murder. Now, the victim in this case, Shaquille Garon, had been with the St. John Sheriff's Department for 8 years, according to a statement from Sheriff Mike Triggs' office. He was assigned to the Uniform Patrol Division, and he also worked in the Detective Bureau. Shaquille did his job well. He had the heart of a public servant. He carried and showed positivity as an employee for the St. John Sheriff's Office and teammate to his co-workers. He's survived by his wife, Roxanne, and his 3 children.
That is just...
It is. It's tragic, heartbreaking.
And this guy here, again, we have photos of all these people because that makes it real. When you can put a face to these stories, and just looks like a good guy, man. Just somebody that doing his best. Blue collar work, has kids that loved him and rely on him, and now he's gone. And for what? For what?
Over an argument with your brother.
An argument with your brother.
Jeez. I don't know what happened there, but it was obviously a part of the moment thing, and hopefully his brother totally regrets it as well. He definitely regrets it now.
He should.
But another hero just gone.
Yeah,
sad
for no reason. Yeah. All right, now California. This right here is just beyond. Okay. A joyful celebration turned into a devastating tragedy when a shooting erupted at a child's birthday party in Stockton, California. This was on November 29th, and it left 4 people dead. 3 of those 4 were children. They also had 11 others injured. Among the victims was 14-year-old Amari Peterson, who had attended the gathering at a local banquet hall. His mother, Kim Peterson, shattered with just heartbreak, said online that her son was simply at the wrong place at the wrong time. My baby was innocent, she said. Who would have known my baby wasn't going to come home with me? Peterson described Amari as a kind, caring teen with a passion for sports, especially basketball and football. She asked the community to keep her family and Amari's friends in their prayers as they navigate this unimaginable loss. And they did set up a GoFundMe page to help assist with funeral expenses. People don't think about that you would lose your child, and all the cost of that. The shooting also claimed the life of 21-year-old Susano Archuleta, who had been attending the party to celebrate a friend's daughter. 2 younger victims were also killed, including an 8-year-old student from a local school whose parent works for the Stockton Unified School District. A 9-year-old child was also fatally wounded. Authorities reported that 11 additional people were injured in the attack. As of this recording, no suspects have been arrested, and the investigation remains ongoing. Crime Stoppers. So if you're from that area, y'all listen up. Crime Stoppers is offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those involved. The mayor matched that with another $10,000 and with a $5,000 contribution from Councilwoman Mariella Ponce. The total reward now stands at $25,000. And guys, that's enough. Somebody needs to come forward. Somebody knows something. Who the hell shoots up a child's birthday party?
Yeah. And, it's shocking to me that 11 people, in total, including children, shot and injured with with 4 of those I'm now seeing being killed. So apparently somebody didn't make it that initially they thought was going to make it. But 11 injured, 4 killed, and no suspects. That's just shocking.
Yeah.
That, how does that happen? And I know the police are doing everything they can to figure this out. Certainly not their fault.
Right.
But golly, in this society where you have cameras everywhere, from red light cameras to ring cameras to, you would think, everybody check your cameras. I'm sure they've said this, but if you're in the Stockton, California area, check your cameras and just see if you see a car hauling ass down the road around that time.
I mean, it might be worth $25,000 to you. I hate to make it about money, but you never know. And these babies, we need answers to this. And the adult, people that are injured and fighting for their lives, obviously. But to shoot blindly, I'm assuming, I don't know if the shooter went in the building or not, but it sounds like just to shoot blindly with no care in the world,
like
for
Grand
shame.
Theft Auto, man, just
like,
letting it rip.
I got to add this real quick. I'm watching a show or a series right now. I know I'm late to the ball game here, but I'm watching Vikings. Have you watched it?
No.
Okay. I love it. That's my speed. But the thing that makes the violence, I guess, cinematic is you have adults fighting adults over, with a cause in mind, property or whatever. And the reason that you like the show is because it's adults fighting adults. When we have adults now slaughtering children that are defenseless at a birthday party, it just adds an element of just flat out anger in me. And now they're walking free, just walking free, like they didn't just go murder these people.
Right. And I'm sure that the targets were adults and they just didn't give a shit and just mowed everybody down, which makes it even worse. You didn't
collateral damage.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Let's go to Georgia. An inmate described by authorities as armed and dangerous is on the run after escaping from an Atlanta hospital early Monday.
Hey everyone, Crime Wire Weekly has moved to its own new channel.
We hope you've enjoyed this preview. To continue listening, please follow the link referenced in the description of this podcast.
Or simply search Crime Wire Weekly wherever you're listening.
And don't forget to follow the show so you can be alerted when new episodes drop.
Thanks for listening.